Thank you to EA for providing me with the game code for the For Rent expansion pack.
An angel in disguise. Oh, wanna make you mine. Wanna make you mine. One time.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Life in Tomarang. And as you can see, we are here with Lollie, who is deep in thought currently about their life and the things that they currently have in their possession. So they currently have a couple of property ownerships, and she is wanting to go ahead and sell those because she has found a perfect apartment building that she is wanting to purchase. So she's wanting to sell all of the properties that they currently own and purchase this new apartment building. So they are planning to move into this apartment building, and she's wanting to talk to her husband about this. So she is planning to let him know that she is wanting to embark on this new endeavor. She realizes that it is kind of bad timing considering they are expecting, but she really feels like it's a really good deal and that now is definitely a good time as far as with the market the way it is and the fact that she's found this apartment building that is a steal of a deal. So they have decided that they're going to go ahead and do this. They are just currently talking about the baby, and she's letting him feel the baby. And Broderick is like, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" And she's like, "It is. I really think this is what we want to do." He is liking affection. We love that for him. But she's telling him a secret about it, and she's like, it's really a good deal, and I think it's under market right now, and it's really something we need to do. I think we need to jump on it. And he's like, "Okay, if that's what you want to do, I'll go ahead and, handle the paperwork." And she's like, "Okay." So they've gone ahead. They have sold their current properties, and they're just in, obviously, the one that they're still currently in. They still need to sell this current townhouse. And then once they sell this current townhouse that they're in, they will have enough money to purchase the apartment building, and then they'll be moving into the apartment building. So he's going to go ahead and take care of that for her and close out this final deal, and then they're going to go ahead and move. And she is really grateful that he's going to go ahead and take care of all of that because, as you can see, she is quite shattered and is going to need to get herself a little bit of rest. So she's really grateful that he is going to go ahead and take care of the paperwork details for her so that she doesn't really have to worry about that, and she can just go ahead and get herself a little bit of rest. So she's going to go and lay down, get herself some rest. He's going to take out the trash, and then he is going to make a couple of phone calls and go ahead and get them moved and settled into the apartment complex and go ahead and get that purchased up. So let's go ahead and do that now, and we will move this household and get ourselves set up in the apartment complex. Broderick is just going to go ahead and make that call now. So as you can see, we have made it into the apartment complex. Lollie is still really, really exhausted. They did a quick move here, and this is our new apartment complex. It has a restaurant, a gym, a spa, and it is a really nice building. She really, really found a smoker deal for it, and she was able to go ahead and get this purchased up. There are 6 apartments. They, of course, are residing in one of them. Her parents are residing in one of them. They went ahead and moved here into the apartment building as well. And so they live in apartment number 1. We currently reside in apartment number 6, I believe. And then we're going to have to go ahead and get the other apartments filled. So we will go ahead and have to look for tenants for the other apartments. But in the meantime, we are just going to go ahead and let Lollie get a little bit of rest because, as you can see, she is really, really exhausted, and she is in her 3rd trimester and could go into labor at any time. So she really does need to get as much rest as she possibly can because we're going to have a baby quite soon, because she is really on the edge of the end of this pregnancy here. Oh no, and she has decided to pass out in the hallway. She couldn't even make it to the house. The poor dear. So she's passed out in the hallway, and London also is extremely, extremely tired. She is heading herself up the stairs as well so that she can head into bed herself. So we're just going to go ahead and let everyone go and get themselves a little bit of rest here because the whole family, quite frankly, is shattered. The move really did take it out of them. Broderick is like, I'm going to go and investigate the apartment building. I want to see what we've just purchased and see, if it was a good investment. And Lollie's like, it is a good investment. I know a good deal when I see one, honey, but you go ahead and take a look around. So she's going to go ahead and go get herself a little bit of sleep here. And London is going to go get herself a little bit of sleep as well. And Broderick is just going to go and take a look around the apartment building. And he is going to see what this place is all about and the amenities that it holds and things like that. Because he didn't have a chance to really look at the place. Obviously, Lollie was the one that found this apartment building and he didn't know anything about it. He just took her at her word of this is a stellar deal and we really need to jump on it while we can. And being that she is the one that is wanting to be the 5-star property owner and this is really her dream, he obviously is really supportive of that. We know that he is a stay-at-home dad and he really just mostly tends to the children, but he is definitely really supportive of her dream of wanting to be a 5-star property owner. And so he was like, yeah, if this is what you think is best and this is what you want, then I'm all for that. So he went ahead and said, let's do it. Like, if you think this is the way we need to go, then this is definitely what we'll do. So they up and moved. So as you can see, London is just heading herself into her room here so she can get a little bit of rest. So this is London's room and she's going to have herself a little bit of sleep here because she is really, really angry because she's feeling so tired and everyone is going to get themselves a little bit of shut-eye and I will check back with you when they wake. So as you can see, Lollie is up. She has gone into labor. She is bursting with joy of anticipation for this little one, but she's also desperately got a wee. We're going to go ahead and send her into the washroom and let her go and have a wee really quickly. And then we will go ahead and join her at the hospital and let her have her baby. Her and Broderick will go ahead and go to the hospital and we will go and see what we are having as far as a baby is concerned. So we are going to do that. She has 3 hours until the baby is due. So I may actually let her go ahead and have a little bit of a power nap just so that she can get a little bit more rest because she does have a little bit of time before she absolutely has to be at the hospital. So I'm just going to let her have a really quick nap here on the couch. So we'll let her get a little bit more rest. Hopefully she can get up a little bit of energy. Then we will join her at the hospital. So once she wakes up, we will go ahead and go to the hospital with her. Oh, look at her embracing her cringe. She's so adorable. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. All right, let's go have this baby. So we are at the hospital. Her and Broderick have come here. We are just going to go ahead and go and have this baby. She is really, really ready to have this over with. She is very uncomfortable currently. So she's going to go ahead and head on in here. The doctor has seen her standing out in the parking lot and he's like, oh my gosh, come on in. You don't even have to go check in at the front desk. Come on back. You are definitely ready to have this baby. And she's like, oh, thank goodness. So she's going to hop up on the table here and we are going to go ahead and let her have this baby. And we're going to go ahead and see what we're having. So as you know, Broderick is having his pre-parental panic out in the hallway there, and hopefully once he's done with that, we'll be able to get him to come on in here and join in the festivities of this birth. But he's just kind of taking his sweet time out there freaking out, but maybe he can make it in here before the baby's actually born. And it looks like he actually did make it in just in time, and congratulations, it's a boy. Lollie just gave birth to a baby boy. What are we going to name this baby? We are going to just randomize a couple of times and see what we're going to name this baby. I think we're going to give this baby the name Stefan McAllister. All right, perfect. So this baby's name is Stefan, and Stefan is born and has been brought into the world. We love that. So now London has a little brother. So cute. So let's go ahead and love on this little one here, and then we will go ahead and head ourselves home, and we will make sure everything's okay at the apartment, and we will get our little one snuggled in at the house. So Lollie's just going to go ahead and head on home. And as you can see, she's feeling really playful, but she's also really tired still. She's also going to need to get herself something to eat here. We have made it back to the apartment complex, which is great. And so we're just going to go ahead and we will have her come in and take care of the little one. And she is going to, like I said, need to get herself something to eat here. So we'll just queue up for her to go ahead and take care of the little one here. And then we will let her grab a bite to eat. Broderick also needs to get himself something to eat. And London does too, for that matter. So everyone's going to go ahead and grab themselves something to eat. And then that will be fantastic. I do believe there is something downstairs that has been fixed in the main area. So they're just going to all go downstairs and grab something from there. Because it doesn't look like we actually have anything available to eat in our fridge. And it looks like there is a haunting. Okay, so we just got a notification that there's a haunting in Unit 1, and we need to go and take care of that. So we are going to have to go and get rid of the ghost in Unit 1, or we'll have to call a contractor and have them take care of the ghost. I'm going to just probably go and have Lollie check out Unit 1, which is actually where her parents live. In Unit 1, I'll have her go and try to check that out herself and see if we can get rid of the ghost ourselves. And if for whatever reason we have trouble getting rid of the ghost, then we may call a contractor. But first we'll try to eradicate the ghost ourselves and see if we can fix that up for them. But first I want her to go ahead and just get herself something to eat here. We're just going to go ahead and take a look at our lots here and go ahead and set the rules. And then we'll start trying to fill some vacancies as well. So while she's eating, we're just going to go ahead and do that. So I'm actually just putting here that we don't want them having any trash overload. Everything else as far as the rules, I'm just going to leave off. I don't think we need any other rules at this time. I'm just going to stick with the no trash rule. And then we will move on to just trying to find us some people to fill the vacancies. It looks like she is going to go ahead and head off now to go to take care of the haunting. So she is heading off to Unit 1 now. And hopefully she'll be able to take care of their ghost problem. And I'm sure she'll want to go ahead and visit while she's there as well, because, I mean, they are her parents. So we are just now trying to go ahead and find someone that will want to rent some of these places. And so we are trying to fill the vacancy here. So we do clearly need some people that are in our apartments so that we can start making a little bit of money, since we obviously have, some rent payments that we're going to have to pay. We want people paying rent for us for, the building. All right, so we are just going to go ahead and put in maybe the Lopez family in this unit, I think. And we have made it to Unit 1, where her parents live. We are just going to go ahead and go into the apartment here, and we will see if we can go ahead and take care of their ghost problem. We're going to go ahead and just take care of this haunting. And so we're going to go in and we're going to chat with her dad, and we will obviously ask him how he's doing. And we will see if he has anything to say about the rent place, and just see if there's anything that he needs to tell us about the building or how he's feeling. Obviously, she's probably going to go ahead and talk to him about memes, because as we know, she is a cringe sim, and so she does like to spout her memes. So I think that she would definitely do that while she's talking to her dad. And he would probably be like, Lollie, I have no idea what you're talking about right now, honey. And she'll be like, that's okay, Dad. It's fine. You know, because she kind of talks in her own little language when she's spouting off these memes and things. And he, being this wiser old man, he has no idea what these youth of today are talking about. But he's trying to keep up. He really is. But he just doesn't understand. He's like, what? As he grabs his head and just shakes his head at her. He's like, oh my gosh, this child of mine. I don't even understand what she's talking about. So she's like, so I heard that you had a ghost in the house. And he's like, yeah, we do. There's a ghost. It's been haunting all kinds of stuff in the house. We can't get it to stop. It's really driving us crazy. He's like, I was hoping that you would come and fix it. And she's like, well, I don't really see anything going on in here. Like, there's no activity going on. Where was the last time you saw it? And he's like, you know, Lollie, it just kind of hangs about and comes and goes. And she's like, okay, but where is it now? And he's like, I don't know. I haven't seen it in a couple of hours. But if you just hang around, Lollie, then it'll show its head. It will. It'll just pop up out of nowhere. And it'll start, you know, haunting things in the kitchen. And it'll be messing with things and trying to break things. And she's like, okay, Dad, well, I can hang out for a little while and maybe it'll show up. And so she's going to have a little bit to eat here while she's just hanging out with her dad. And she's hoping, obviously, that this ghost is going to show up. I mean, obviously, we don't necessarily want the ghost to show up because she's kind of hoping that maybe her dad's just being foolish. And she's thinking maybe he doesn't really know what he's talking about. And he's just, you know, maybe he's just seeing things. And she's really hoping that the house isn't actually haunted. But, you know, obviously there's clearly something going on because, I mean, her dad wouldn't just tell her, oh, well, the house is haunted if it wasn't actually haunted. Like, clearly there's actually something going on in the house. Otherwise, he wouldn't have called her down to come check on things. So while he's left the apartment building because he's like, I'm going to leave you to it. And she's like, okay. So she's over here. She's going to start snooping through their things. She's like, I'm just going to see what I can find on them. You know, I don't have anything better to do while I wait, so I'm just going to snoop. So she's just snooping around, trying to find dirt on her parents, which is kind of funny if you think about it. Like, you'd think she was being a teenager, like she's acting like a teenager right now, just snooping around on all their stuff. But she's just, you know, trying to find dirt on her parents. Look at her. She's like, oh, yep, I knew it. I knew it. So we are just letting her snoop around a little bit, and she's just waiting for this ghost to show up, and she's thinking to herself, I don't think there's a ghost here. I haven't seen one thing that shows me there's a ghost in this place. There's nothing. There's no activity going on. And she's just looking around and she doesn't see anything happening. And, you know, her mom's not here. Her dad's not here. Oh, there's her mom coming up the stairs now. So maybe her mom's actually going to go ahead and come on in. So we're going to go ahead and chat with Mom and say, you know, Dad said there was a ghost in here, but I haven't seen anything. And her mom's going to tell her, we have a ghost, Lollie. And I'm telling you, if you just stick around long enough, you'll see it. And she'll be like, well, that's what Dad said, but I've been here for a while now, and I haven't seen any activity whatsoever, Mom. And I just don't, I'm not saying I don't believe you guys. It's just I haven't seen any proof to this claim. And it's really, really hard for me to get rid of something that I don't see. Like, I don't know what you guys are expecting me to do. And they're like, well, we're expecting you to get rid of this ghost because we can't live here with a ghost, honey. And she's like, I understand that, Mom, I really do. But how am I supposed to get rid of a ghost that I can't see or I can't find? And she's like, Lollie, just hang around a little bit longer and I promise you that you'll find it. And she's like, okay, Mom, I'm just going to go head out here into the hallway for a minute. I'll be right back. And she's thinking, I'm pretty certain my parents have lost their mind. Like, they have no ghost. They really don't. And she is just about resigned to the fact that she's going to go on home. And she's thinking, like, there's nothing I can do. I can't get rid of something that doesn't even show itself. And she's literally about to leave and go on home because she is thinking like they've lost their mind. And then in walks the ghost. And she's like, oh, no, it didn't. And it's in the kitchen. And she's like, well, they're right. There is a ghost in here. And so she's going to go ahead and she's going to confront this ghost. And she's like, excuse me, but who do you think you are? And why are you in this apartment? And the ghost is going to say, well, I have every right to be here. You don't tell me where I can and can't go. You have no claim over me. And she's going to say, you can't be here. I own this apartment building and you can't be in this apartment. And she's going to say, you have to leave. And the ghost is going to be like, I don't have to do anything. I can go anywhere I want. I have the right to go anywhere I want. And she's like, no, you don't. You can't be here. The tenants don't want you here. You can't be here. And the ghost is not trying to hear that. The ghost, he's like, I'm being friendly. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm cleaning up after myself and everything. So the ghost is about to go ahead and jump into this trash can. She's already made it a little bit upset because she's offended it because she's told him it has to leave. So it's going to jump into this dog bowl and she's going to go ahead and exorcise the ghost. And just like that, she's gotten rid of this ghost. And her mom is like, I knew you could do it. And it says here, great job at getting rid of the ghost. And the tenants were happy that we got rid of the ghost and our unit rating has gone up. And her mom is just ecstatic. And she's like, Lollie, I so appreciate you getting rid of that ghost. I can sleep soundly now. And she's like, you're welcome, Mom. I'm going to go on home. You know, the kids really need me at home. And she's like, okay, Lollie, I'll see you later. So I'm going to go ahead and send Lollie on home so she can check on Stefan and London. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to have her go on in here and take care of the little one. And then we will go ahead and fill the units the rest of the way up. Since we only got a couple of them filled, we're going to fill up the rest of the units here so that we have a full apartment building. And so we do need to fill the rest of them. I think there are like 2 or 3 more that need to be filled. And then we'll have a full building here. And then Lollie can go ahead later on and start going and trying to introduce herself to some of the tenants that she has filled the vacancy of the room or of the apartments. So we'll try to get around to visiting some of our tenants in a little bit. But first, we're just going to go ahead and make sure we get everybody kind of into the place first. And then we are going to take care of Stefan here. Just give him a little bit of a feed because he is feeling pretty hungry. And so Lollie needs to go ahead and take care of him. As you can see, Roderick is just watching a little bit of television. And she's like, so what do you think of the place? And Roderick's like, it is amazing, Lollie. You're right. I mean, you really, really know how to pick a place, don't you? And she's like, oh, honey, thank you. And he's like, no, really, you're fantastic at this. Like, you've really got a keen eye. And she's like, I just knew it was where we needed to be. And I just knew it was going to be a perfect place for the kids to grow up. And also, like, a great apartment building for us to kind of own and rent out. She was like, I just knew it was going to be the perfect place. And he was like, I really think I agree. And it looks like London is really, really sad after meeting a sibling she doesn't want. Oh no, poor London. I really feel so sad for her. She's just not happy. She's like, what is that? Why have you brought this little thing home? I don't want this. I don't, take it back. And they're like, no, that's your little brother. And she's like, I don't want it. I don't want it. Just get rid of it. So, as you can see, the adults have gone off to bed. They are trying to get a little bit of rest here, and London is going ahead and talking to Stefan. She's trying to entertain this little baby, and she's like, I'm gonna at least try. But Stefan's just laying there, and she's gonna cry because she's like, this isn't fun. This baby doesn't do anything but lay there. I don't want this baby. Take this baby back. So she is super sad. Poor London. I feel so bad for her. Oh. Poor thing. All right, so we are going to go ahead and we're going to let London go ahead and get herself a little bit of rest too. And then once everyone gets up from their rest, I'm going to take Lollie over to the other unit here and let her go ahead and start meeting some people. And she's going to welcome them into the neighborhood, and she's going to just go ahead and give everybody a little bit of an introduction. Right now, she's kind of eavesdropping a little bit, trying to listen in on some conversations. It doesn't look like there's really anybody home. Oh, yes, she is home, but she's leaving. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and give an introduction to everyone. At the very least, we can get to know them and just let them know that, we're your landlord, and if there's anything that you need, just let us know. Obviously, we're here to help, and we'll try to do anything we can to, make this place run as smoothly as we can for you. We really want you to enjoy your stay here at this apartment, and we hope that you really like your accommodations and things of that nature. So she is just trying to get to know them, and she's welcoming them in, and they're like, oh, well, we actually love the apartment. We think it's beautiful. And it is a really nice, big apartment. The two top apartments on the very top of the building are the largest apartments in the place, and they are very fancy. So this one is a quite large apartment here. So they are just having a little bit of a conversation. She is just getting to know them, and they're having some friendly banter here, which is fantastic. And she is then going to go ahead and probably head on back to the house and check on the children, and probably get herself a little bit more rest, because I don't think she had gotten all the rest that she really needed. As we know, it is really difficult sometimes to get enough rest when you have a little one in the house, especially a newborn. It is very difficult to get enough sleep when they're constantly crying because they have their needs. And she's also taking care of an apartment, so she's not really been able to get a whole lot of rest. She's had to deal with ghost hauntings and childbirth and all kinds of things, and she just really hasn't had a whole lot of rest. So she is actually feeling quite tired, and so I am just going to probably need to send her to get a little bit of rest. It looks like she's actually heading to go take herself a nap on a bench currently, but instead of her doing that, I probably just need to send her home. Yeah, she is. She's heading out to go have herself a nap on the bench out here in the park. Lollie, why? Why are you going out here? Go on home and go to the house, and you can take a sleep. And then her dad's calling, and he's like asking her if he can come visit. And she's like, you can come visit, but I am so exhausted, so I don't know how much of good company I'm going to be, but you can definitely come and visit. So her dad's going to come over and visit the house, and they are going to have themselves a nice little visit here. But, yeah, she's just like, I just want to sleep. Broderick here is just fixing some food because he's hungry. And so they're actually in the community area. So they're down on the first floor in the community shared area, and they're just grilling out here. As you can see, they're having themselves a nice little time cooking, which is fantastic. So some of the tenants and Broderick are just out here cooking out here by the pool. which is lovely. We love that. And it looks like Lollie's mom's down here as well. So everyone is just having a really nice time here in the shared area. And everyone just kind of sits their food out here on the desk of the hotel lobby, or well, the apartment lobby here. So we love that. But anyhow, they're all going to just go ahead and grab themselves something to eat. London is getting some sleep and Lollie's getting some sleep. It looks like Stefan is awake currently, so maybe after Broderick gets himself something to eat, he can go ahead and check in on the little one just to make sure he's okay. And then we don't have to wake up Lollie. She can just go ahead and still get a little bit more rest. So we'll let Broderick go ahead and be, super dad here and take care of little Stefan, which will be fantastic. So we'll just let him rock him and cuddle him, talk to him, what have you, and he can just take care of him and possibly even do a little bit of a diaper change, because I think he probably will need that soon as well. And then once Lollie gets up, she'll go ahead and grab herself something to eat as well. And London can get up and grab herself some food also. So we will get everyone to go ahead and get something to eat. Vikram's calling and talking to Broderick about being friends with someone. You can be friends with whoever you wish. We love that for you. All right, so Broderick is just going ahead and taking care of Stefan. And as you can see, London has finally gotten up from her nap. She's just going to get the rest of Dad's food here and give it a eat. She's like, I'm not even walking all the way downstairs to get me some food. I'm just going to steal yours. Smart kid. Really smart kid. All right, so he is just taking care of little Stefan. I'm going to have him go ahead and change his diaper. And Lollie, honey, you're going to have to get up and get yourself something to eat, please. So he's just finishing cleaning up here, which is fantastic. And then he will take care of that dirty diaper. So one thing that they do that I am not quite sure about is, like right now he's cleaning up that dirty bottle. But he's walking downstairs to the shared area and he's cleaning up all of the dishes in the entire apartment building. So I don't know about that. Because I really wish that they would just clean up in their apartment and not the entire apartment building. But they clean up everything in the entire shared area as well. So I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of wish that they wouldn't do that. I wish that they would just stay in their main area. And that's kind of the same for like when you have them cook. They go and they cook in the shared area, but not in their apartment. They don't cook in their apartment. They cook in the shared area. So if you have like a cooking stuff in the shared area, they'll opt to cook in the shared area and not in your kitchen, in your home. So that's one thing I don't necessarily care for. So far that I've noticed, that I think should probably be maybe corrected. But other than that, I think this is kind of great. But yeah, so Lollie's just sitting here grabbing herself something to eat. She's starting to feel a little bit better. She got herself a little bit of rest, and so she's like, I'm feeling good. Things are really great. And she's just, gonna have a little bit of a conversation with her dad, it looks like, and we love that because I think Vikram was going ahead and coming over to visit. So yeah, there's her dad now. So she's just going to go ahead and have a little bit of a conversation with her dad here. And we are going to see about them. It looks like she has a little bit of a sentiment with her dad. And it looks like it's a hurt sentiment. So it's kind of hard for her to be around Vikram currently. So we're just going to go ahead and check their little profile. It does show that she is kind of hurt by him right now. But also it looks like she's found a secret about him. When he was very young, he had a strict teacher at school, Mr. Copeland, that seemed to enjoy, basically he loves grilled cheese. But they were like telling him not to like grilled cheese. But he like ended up really, really liking grilled cheese. Way too much. He was obsessed with grilled cheese, basically, is his secret. And Mr. Copeland warned him that he would become that way, and he didn't believe him, but Mr. Copeland was right. And now she's found out that he is obsessed with grilled cheese sandwiches. And so she's basically going to tell him, I know your secret, Dad. You've hurt my feelings now, and now I have dirt on you, and I know your secret. So she's going to tell him, Dad, I know your secret. And he's like, what? What do you mean? How did you find out? And she's like, never you mind how I found out. The big thing here is that I know. So you just keep that in your mind that I know your big secret. He's going to be like, I have to go, Lollie. And she's like, that's right. You go ahead and go on. So we are just going to go ahead and get Lollie to clean up a little bit here. Then she's going to go to the washroom. I'm going to go ahead and get her into bed. But she's going to go ahead and pick up a little bit here. She needs to go to the washroom real quick. And then I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in our next episode of Life in Tomarang, where we continue on with Lollie and her family and see how she gets on with some of her other tenants, because I'm going to have her be meeting some of her other tenants, greeting them, and seeing how we get on with them and how things go for this story. So until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.